Welcome back to Sko Buff Sports. I am Sarah Bennett with Leo Rivera, and while we know many of you are anticipating the Patriots-Broncos matchup this Sunday, we still have a plethora of CU sports news right here, right now for you. We start with the skidding men's hoops teams as CU fell to West Virginia Saturday. Barrington Hagras led the Buffs with 15 points. Colorado captured its first lead of the game off a 12-2 run early in the second half. However, the Buffs would get outscored 30-15 in the next 13 minutes to lose by 11. Colorado struggled on the glass, getting out-rebounded by 16.
The Buffaloes went toe-to-toe with number 19 Kansas. Even without coach Bill Self, the Jayhawks pulled away for a 75-69 win, dropping the Buffs to 2-4 in Big 12 play. Freshman Isaiah Johnson led CU, continued to climb the freshman scoring ranks, scoring 19 points. Barrington Hagras finished with 17 points, and Alon McKaylee had 13 to keep CU's offense rolling. Ultimately, Kansas dominated in transition on both ends of the floor, stealing the win and moving them to 4-2 in Big 12 play.
The Colorado women's basketball team continues to struggle away from home, suffering a 74-68 loss against the UCF Knights last Sunday. Jade Masagayo put up 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists. Desiree Wooten continued being an excellent bench option, scoring 15 points. The Buffs led by as much as 6 points in the fourth quarter, but the Knights stormed back. Colorado is 0-5 on the road for the first time since their shortened COVID season.
Women's Hoops returns home to face Oklahoma State for the second time this season in Stillwater. The Buffaloes suffered a 7-point loss earlier, but since then the Cowgirls haven't slowed down. They upset number 19th ranked Iowa State by nearly 30 points in their last matchup and rolled through the Kansas Jayhawks before that. Oklahoma State is receiving votes in both the AP and coaches polls, just shy of a national ranking.
After they face the Cowgirls, J.R. Payne's squad takes on Kansas State. K-State is coming off an upset against number 17 ranked Texas Tech on the Red Raiders' home court. The Wildcats have had an up-and-down season, holding an 11-9 record. Alongside the Texas Tech upset, they defeated 13th ranked Ole Miss, but have suffered losses to Utah and TCU.
The men's basketball squad hosts UCF tomorrow at 1 p.m. at the CU Events Center. After starting conference play with back-to-back wins, the Buffs are on a 4-game slide. The Knights are 3-3 in conference play, with 2 of their wins come against teams Colorado lost to, including Kansas and Cincinnati. The Buffaloes are looking to defend home court and snap their losing streak, while the Knights try to steal a road game at altitude.
After playing the Knights, the Buffaloes will hit the road to play the number 9 Iowa State Cyclones on Thursday. The Cyclones are an undefeated 11-0 at the Hilton Coliseum this season. While Colorado has not won a game on the road in the Big 12, Iowa State averages the 5th most points in the Big 12 and 2nd best field goal percentage. The Cyclones are led by Joshua Jefferson, averaging 17 points and 8 rebounds per game. The Big 12 released Colorado football's 2026 schedule on Wednesday. The Buff slate is packed with bouts against Big 12 heavyweights, along with 3 of their first 4 games on the road. In those 4 games, they will face 2 Power 4 opponents for the first time since 1994. The contests include a rematch against Georgia Tech in Atlanta and a trip to Northwestern for the first time since 1951. In between those away games, they face Weber State for the first time in program history at home. In the Big 12, the Buffaloes face playoff finalist Texas Tech in their home opener and host a rivalry game against the Utah Utes.
It's now time for this week's trivia question. In honor of the Buffs game in Evanston, Illinois, our question is, When was the last time Colorado football won a game in a Big 12 stadium? We'll have that answer later in the show.
Hey Buff fans, my name's Jake Chow. I'm joined here with Xavier McNevich, and this week's Buff banter will include the Big 12 dropping the football season schedule for the 2026 season. We're going to take our biggest takeaways on the schedule, and the Buffs start 3 of their first games on the road. Xavier, what do you think about that?
Well, it's a rough 3 road games as well. I mean, they play 3 Power 4 opponents in those games. They play Georgia Tech on the second game of a home-and-home series, as it's well known that the Buffaloes lost to them early in their 2025 season, and then they play Northwestern and Baylor, and Baylor's got a reloaded roster with DJ Lagway. I think the Buffaloes will just have to take at least 1 or 2 wins on the road, because after they're done on the road, they also have Texas Tech in their Big 12 home opener, which the Buffaloes could be staring down the barrel at a 1-5 start for the season.
Yeah, and especially going to their bye week, which is why one of my biggest takeaways is that Utah game coming off the bye week, especially after getting just embarrassed on national television at Utah last year. It'll be a nice little tune-up game. They're going to look for revenge. It's family weekend, fresh legs after the bye week, and especially if, worst-case scenario, the Buffs start 1-5, that Utah game comes at a pivotal time, and that's a game that they're going to want.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, especially all those Big 12 home games are especially crucial. I think they play 3 10-win teams at home. They play Houston, they play Utah, they play Texas Tech, all the top teams from the Big 12 this year. It's gonna be interesting for the Buffaloes in those home games, because they're gonna need to capture a couple upset wins later on in the season to hopefully contend for a Big 12 title or make a bowl game.
And you mentioned an upset win, another one of my biggest takeaways, and I think a pivotal game this year will be the Georgia Tech game.
Yep.
That home that they had against last year, completely winnable, and it set the tone for the season.
Right.
So we're going to have to see if Brennan Marion can kind of right the ship with his go-go offense and see what kind of that creates with that offense, and that'll set the tone for the entire season, and I think they're going to be kind of licking their wounds a little bit after that.
Yeah, I mean, those first 4 games are especially crucial, because you can't have a start like you did last season, right? You can't lose to Georgia Tech, you can't lose to BYU. Those games set the precedent for the rest of the season, and it didn't look like the Buffaloes were the same team after that loss to BYU earlier in the year. Of course, they got the win against Iowa State, right? But still, that was kind of near the end of the season when things were starting to trail off a little bit for the Buffaloes, starting that 5-game spiral to end the year. So I think the Buffaloes need to start strong in those first 4 games in order to try to capture bowl eligibility.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, this schedule, really tough on the front end, but the back end kind of eases up a little bit. And so there might be some bowl possibilities if the Buffs can capture maybe 2 wins on the road out of those 3 first road games. And they start 2-2, even 3-1, best case scenario. I think the Buffs are in a great position.
I 100% agree.
Yep. That's Buff Fan. I'm Jake Chow, joined here with Xavier McNevich. We'll send it back to you at the desk.
Thanks, guys. Colorado's transfer portal haul is shaping up nicely. However, one key commit won't be joining the Buffs next fall. Defensive tackle Ezra Christensen will not receive a waiver to play his 6th year of college football at Colorado, per the Daily Camera. The former New Mexico State Aggie earned first-team All-Conference USA honors last season. He led the country in pressures and had 6 sacks among defensive linemen. Not entering April's NFL draft, Christensen had the highest Pro Football Focus grade.
2 more Buffs are heading to Milan to compete in the 2026 Winter Olympics. Hugo Hinkfuss earned a spot on Australia's cross-country skiing team. Stacey Goskell will represent the United States in snowboarding. Hinkfuss and Goskell become the 6th and 7th CU students competing in the 2026 Olympics.
History was made last weekend at the track and field Potts Invitational when Isaiah Gibbons ran the fastest mile ever clocked in the state of Colorado. The track and field team is back at it, hosting the Colorado Invite. Field events are already underway with 3 athletes competing in throwing events for Colorado today, and tomorrow is all about racing as the 60-meter hurdles will take place at the track in the morning.
Tennis is back in action starting today. The team hosts Montana State tonight at 6 p.m. and the Air Force Academy on Sunday at 2 p.m. Both games will be played at Meadows Club in Boulder. Last year, the Buffs went 9-14. Now, they look towards their 3 freshmen, 2 seniors, and returning graduate Aya El Said. Head coach Anthony Pham said this team has the most it's had in over half a decade.
Welcome to Folsom Feud, I'm your host, Colby, here with 3 contestants today, Lincoln, Balin, and Kieran. Lincoln, start us off.
I'll take game day etiquette for 200.
All right. This is the best way to show respect during the CU fight song.
What is standing, singing loud, and raising your hand in the hook 'em horn sign?
Not what we're looking for. Balin, you have an answer?
What is stand up, sing loud, and do the Ralphie horns?
Correct. Balin, the board is yours.
Give me tailgate traditions for 400.
All right, here's the answer. The must-have item to wear on game day to show your buff pride. Kieran?
What is black and gold?
That's correct. Nothing says school spirit like those 2 colors. Choose the next one.
Let's do fan etiquette for 600.
Fan etiquette. The proper response when you hear someone yell, "Go Buffs."
What is skull, Buffs?
Skull Buffs is right. Looks like we've got some true Buffs fans here. But thank you all for tuning in. Thank you to our contestants, and see you next time.
Club baseball team has announced its action-packed schedule for the upcoming season. The circuit features 4 out-of-conference series, including a 3-game set against Nebraska at the end of March and a 4-game series against Miami in April. The Buffs begin their season in Dallas, featuring a round-robin tournament with North Texas, Baylor, Oklahoma, and Texas. They begin conference play against Metro State on March 20th, then hosting Air Force and Colorado State in early April. SBS is the home of CU Club Baseball, starting with Utah on March 7th.
After a strong weekend in the Big Mountain Classic, men's D2 hockey faces off against Southern Methodist University. Last weekend, Colorado went 4-0 with freshman Brick Fisher dominating the tournament. He scored 6 goals and had 4 assists for 10 points on the weekend to lead the team. CU will look to keep its win streak going in a 2-game series against SMU. The first game is senior night on Friday night at 8 p.m. and the second will be on Saturday at 3 p.m. Both games will be at the CU Rex Ice Rink and streamed here on ScoBuff Sports.
Men's D1 hockey gets the weekend off after a tough series last weekend. Against the University of Mary Marauders, Colorado was shut out in both games and gave up 14 goals across the 2 games. The Buffs were supposed to play against the University of Oklahoma this weekend, but the series was canceled due to travel issues.
The Buffs women's hockey squad treated the New Mexico Lobos to a couple of shutouts last weekend. They won 4-0 on Saturday and 9-0 on Sunday. It was another successful weekend on the power play as the Buffs converted 3 of 4 of their chances against short-handed opponents. They face off in a big matchup tonight against the UMass Minute Women. The game will be streamed live at 5 p.m. right here on ScoBuff Sports.
Hey, Buff fans, I'm Kieran Walker bringing you this week's top 6 plays in Colorado sports. A busy weekend in Boulder and beyond. So let's dive right in with our number 6 pick. We go to hockey. Men's D2 had an incredible weekend in the Big Mountain Classic. And Brick Fisher up the far side of the rink gets on his stick and takes a shot and scores against the Bears of Cal. What a play by Fisher, making his name known this weekend. Now we go to the NFL. It's the LA Rams. Caleb Williams gets the handoff, and Nate Landman is there right at the line of scrimmage, and the Bears are tackled for a loss. What a play by the Buffs alum. Let's go back to hockey now for number 4. And who, you guessed it, it's Brick Fisher. This time he's going up. It's on his stick, down the slot, backhands it in to complete the hat trick against the Providence Friars. What a play. Now number 3, we go to men's hoops against Kansas. This one tipped in by Barrington Hargress at the buzzer, and the Buffs are down by 2 at halftime. What a play, ladies and gentlemen. Now for number 2, let's go back to hockey. This time it's against the East Texas Baptist Tigers. This one bounced off the post and backhanded in by Connor Smithberger. What a play by the senior this weekend. A huge game for hockey. And for number 1, I think we know where this is going. It's Isaiah Johnson. And the Dak Attack strikes again, ladies and gentlemen. I can't go a week without saying Dak Attack here on this show. So there you go. That's going to do it for this week's Plays of the Week here on ScoBuff Sports. I'm Kieran Walker, wishing you a wonderful weekend.
Here we see Xavier McNevitz working on his reader for the live show. If we didn't have these readers done by Thursday night, chances are we would not be airing this show right now. Be like Xavier. Get your readers done. And don't forget to click save so that you don't lose any of your hard-earned work.
What's up, Buff fans? It's Brittany Garcia bringing you this week's Rapid Fire with a fun weekend full of hoops and slopes. So let's jump right in, starting with men's basketball taking on Central Florida on Saturday at 1 p.m. in the CU Event Center, and that game will be on ESPN+. Then starting on Saturday, the ski team is in Utah for an invitational tournament with the 75K Freestyle on Saturday and the 15K Classic on Sunday. But if you want some more CU women's hoops action at any point during the AFC Championship game, you're in luck. The Buffs tip off against Oklahoma State at 1 p.m. and that game will be on ESPN+. And the tennis team will also be in action on Sunday, playing Air Force at 2 p.m. Well, that's it from me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Brittany. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for, the answer to this week's trivia question. As a reminder, we asked you, when was the last time Colorado football won a game in a Big Ten stadium? Drum roll, please. 1994. Colorado defeated the Michigan Wolverines 27-26 in the Big House. In the most famous single play in program history, the Miracle at Michigan saw Cordell Stewart connected with Michael Westbrook for a walk-off Hail Mary.
Cam Newton is a Buff. Sorta. He's a Texas-born running back recruit who committed to Colorado on Monday. Our tweet of the week highlights one of the many inevitable jokes made about Newton's namesake. Everyone wants to be Auburn, said Auburn Einstein, pouring out former Tigers in college today. The Buffalo's newest tailback is not related to the MVP-winning Carolina Panthers quarterback. Still, has anyone checked his eligibility? Well, that's all we have time for today on this show. As always, I'm Lear Rivera IV alongside Sarah Burnett, and as always, you heard it here first.